My lords, I have a lot of sympathy with trying to tackle ways that take away the romantic attachment to terrorism as some kind of heroic endeavour. And so I completely understand, I think, the reasons for this amendment. However, I cannot see how it would work in practice at the present time. I can't see how it would deal with a Rangers-Celtic match. I don't know what you would do in terms of some people singing Fields of Athenry versus those singing the sash, those shouting up the Ra, no more than no surrender. Slogans on both sides, all of them associated with the previous struggle. I don't know what would happen to those children, shockingly, as the noble Lady Baroness Foster explained, having balaclavas bought for them, but then are they in scope, or their parents, or how do we deal with that? And goodness knows what you do about kneecap the band. I mean, I'm all for banning them because they're hopeless, but what I'm saying is they play on the very imagery that you're discussing. I think we've got a real problem on university campuses. Far too often, young people are indeed cosplaying as jihadists in the way they dress. And I understand that this is not a direct call to arms, but it is, in a way, making acceptable the notion that these Hamas wannabes are actually justifying a type of what they'd call defensive violence of October the 7th. The Ayatollah Khomeini apologists who justify IGRC violence and the whole expert propagandism which fills a society with narratives which I think are very dangerous in terms of young people being radicalised. But I just don't think this amendment can work, because I think what we need to do is to be much more courageous in dismantling those narratives, in going on to university campuses and taking on those who put forward critical theory policies that justify treating Israel as a terrorist pariah state and somehow turning a blind eye to the radical, as I say, cosplaying jihadists. So in some ways, I can see the problem. I don't know that this amendment will tackle it, and I think it could just get into scope a whole range of activities which are superficially offensive, undoubtedly hurtful to anyone who's been a victim of terrorism, but actually means that we do not do what we need to do, which is a much harder job, which is to have these arguments out in public, often, regularly, call it out, as it were. Even if you don't arrest them, I mean, arresting them and carting them away just turns them into a new kind of martyr, in my mind, and we don't want to give anything to their martyr status. But I can see the aim, just don't think this is the method.